International business executive Ryan Patel joins me now from Los Angeles. So, Ryan, it seemed like maintaining free trade was the main focus. What do you think was the biggest takeaway from this year's BRICS Summit?
Well, I think for me, it's all those countries actually using the word coalition, coming together. I think in the past, 10 years they've had this summit. I think they've been making strides, but this year it seems like it was a big coalition word. And I think when you talk about globalization, free trade, it was about also united the rest of Africa. You saw India and obviously China too, prior to the summit, making their country visits and trying to increase the bilateral trade agreements in the country.
That being said, do you think there was more international attention, other countries paying heed to what happened in South Africa?
Yeah, to me, it's a little bit disappointing because I believe, I think there's two aspects. One, that you've had these emerging markets come to South Africa to talk about, trade, but also I think the African economy is actually growing and is emerging in itself. And when you see these leaders like India and China specifically spending time and trying to invest and create this synergy within this continent, it is a big, strong dedication to it.
And Ryan, what about all the sideline meetings that took place? We know that President Xi Jinping met with India's Narendra Modi. It's actually their fourth face-to-face in just a couple of months. And even non-BRICS member Argentina was there. President Mauricio Macri stopping to talk with Xi Jinping. What about some of the things that were accomplished outside of BRICS?
Yeah, I think it's opportunity at the end of the day. I mean, obviously the summit talked about trade tariffs, and you and I both know that is a point toward the U.S. administration, and I think that is creating this other countries to come together to create maybe other coalitions or other advantages that they see they can take an opportunity. And when you have the whole summit talk about following WTO rules, and then you have these other countries coming into the summit talking about what else can you do in investing. I mean, you talk about China actually in South Africa, the largest investment that they've done in South Africa. You see that there's this diversification of trade.
Let's bring in Russian President Vladimir Putin. President Xi met with him on the sidelines as well, talking about current global events, but also turning to Russia wanting more engagement with Africa. Is he following China in this regard?
I think so. I mean, obviously, they've been in the news for other reasons this past few weeks. I think this was an opportunity for Russia to get into, as not just China's partner, but in other aspects to create this coalition. I mean, I think when you have, as a group also, they're creating this, this another line of credit analysis that kind of goes against the Moody bank's side as well. So, I think there was an opportunity for these countries to kind of not just challenge the current system, but to create kind of some disruption. And I think that's why I believe Russia was there as well.
And Ryan, we have about 30 seconds left, but just want to get your lasting thoughts on President Xi's Africa tour. He's heading to Mauritius next and then hosting African leaders in Beijing in September. What kind of momentum are you seeing?
I think, the headlines obviously reads, hey, China is creating more investments into African countries. But I think the other aspect of this is there is actually investments coming back to China as well. And I think when you do a dual, trade, kind of aspect like that, it's creating more momentum. It's creating free trade. It provides obviously the economy on full circle and provides possibly less leverage on a specific few countries and versus creating a whole continent if you can kind of combine it together.
All right, Ryan Patel in Los Angeles, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.